We are good. We are live. Morning, everybody. How you all doing? Um, where to begin? So let's start. I'm not in Houston. I am still here in Atlanta. Why? This government shutdown is no joke. None was so freaking ever. It delayed my flight majorly yesterday, and by the time I would have gotten in, it didn't make sense because I had a early return tomorrow morning. I had like a 6 o'clock return tomorrow morning. That just didn't make any damn sense to me. My goal was to get in yesterday, enjoy some time with my sister, or that orange and black crew down in San Antonio. And then it was going to be the opposite today. Whoever I did not see yesterday, I would have seen today and spent some time with them. So again, with that being the case, I was like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'll just sit my ass home and relax. Then the ill thing about this has been on my calendar for a while. I didn't know my sister was going to be there, but I was going to go for the football reunion. So that's been on my calendar for a while. And I took it off. I was like, I ain't feeling it. Like something just ain't right. So then my sister calls. She's like, yo, I'm down here preparing for an opera. You know what I'm saying? What's the word? I was like, shh. Well, shit, it was already there. I had the hotel. Let me go ahead and see what I can see. So it worked out sweet. You know, the ticket wasn't too expensive to fly. So I was like, yeah, bump it. I'm going to go. So obviously, I wasn't meant to be there. And I'm okay with that. I really am. You know, in my younger years, I think I would have been a little upset. I think I would have been a little salty dog. But now, not so much. I'm good. I'm good. Honestly, I'm good. You know, I was on Facebook and there's a young couple. I can't remember the names. Chasing somebody. The brother's tall, thin, and shorter sister. She's thin as well. And they do content creating. I think he is Chase the Creator, I believe. Maybe, I don't know. Whatever. But anyhow, there was something on there where he said, you know, in the past 2 months they've done like 6 figures in 2 months just content creating. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want anybody in my life like that. You know, I'm not. Contrary to what you may think, I'm not that dude. I'm really not. I'm very private. I'm quiet for the most part. Rodney may have a difference of opinion, but I'm quiet for the most part. I'm very laid back. I don't like all that. It's just never been me. It's just people all up in me and my face and my business. And maybe it's because I was raised different. You know, different time, different strokes, different folks. I don't know. Maybe. You know, 'cause I've seen people do a little bit of everything, and some of it isn't as um, intrusive. Some of it's just doing something similar to what we're doing right now, sitting down in front of the camera, just having a conversation, right? I don't know. Next thing, more made to come on that. Next thing though is on my list, and I was hoping Rodney was on by now. You know what? I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save that one. I'm gonna save that one for a little later. I'm gonna see what's going on, what's popping, and we'll go from there. Yeah, if you've not caught up with the news this week, I am seriously looking around trying to figure out more often than not nowadays, where do I live? Because from Comey's indictment, Tisha James' indictment, the young lady got shot in Chicago by ICE agents. Um, we knew it was. We said it was coming. We knew it was coming. Yeah, it's here. It's here. Rodney said something to me yesterday. He said, "You know, think about this. We now have a Southern army on the soil of a northern state. Does that not sound like the Civil War has started?" And that gave me pause. I was like, you think about it like that. You know, I didn't think about it like that. I just knew that maybe I need to start looking at that. I knew that there were troops from a red state going to support the policies of the current administration in a blue state. So I didn't think of it in those terms, but I did think of it like that, right? So you're not following. Um, Abbott committed some troops from Texas to go and support the moves that the president wanted to make in Illinois, Chicago, more specifically. This is, he didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize. We'll talk about that. And my concern is, how is he going to really behave? I'm in line yesterday as I'm sneaking through TSA because I went all the way through the process again because the flight was delayed super long. I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. But I'm in the line yesterday, and there was a white woman behind me. I started talking to a guy works for PenFed, and I was like, hey man, I'm on the fence about coming in with you all. I have Navy Fed, I have USAA. I don't know about you all. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. So he was like, hey, do you do this? Do you do that? Do you do that? Da, 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 da. And I was like, a couple things were yes, a lot of things were no, to be honest and clear. But he says, but I mentioned, I said, hey man, I'm really looking at more of my retirement home and where I want to live when I retire versus anything right now. So he goes, well, why don't you go to Puerto Rico? And I was like, well, shit, Puerto Rico's still America. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So he goes, but it does if you have a business. There are a lot of very beneficial laws for you if you move your business to Puerto Rico. So I go, oh, okay. Nah, I can look at that now. Look, I need a tax shelter. I ain't gonna lie. Them damn kids are too old. I can't claim them on my taxes no more. Don't even start on me with damn taxes. But I can't claim them kids on the taxes no more. So that is definitely a problem for me, and I'm always looking for a shelter. But that's not a reason for me really to move to Puerto Rico. I'm not really feeling the Puerto Rico move, to be honest with you. That island living shit is blown out of proportion in my opinion, to be honest with you all. 100%. Like, there's never been an island that I went to and I was so in love with it that I was like, yeah, I think I want to live here for the rest of my life. I've not been there yet. I've been to Japan. Didn't feel that way. Been to Korea. Didn't feel that way. I've been to Hawaii. Didn't feel that way. Ooh, Cuba. Okay. Felt that way in Cuba. If they had internet. So, Cuba was the closest. I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to Antigua. Uh, shit, just came back from uh, the PI and Thailand. Like, I, I just ain't got that. First off, most shit, especially on this hemisphere, it's just expensive as all giddy up because you're on a freaking island. And they are going to beat you over the head with taxes, tariff, whatever the hell you want to call it, in order to get goods and or services on the freaking island. It's ridiculous. If your ass has never been to Hawaii and you ever want to go, there are two things I can suggest to you. Thing number one, don't go cheap on the seat because that's a nice flight. It's a nice long flight. So don't go cheap on the seat. Thing number two, make sure you got your money up. Make sure it's expensive as hell in Hawaii, dog. It's expensive as hell in Hawaii. You know, hell, I believe it's more expensive in Hawaii than it is in California. And I was just in Cali. Gas in Cali was like $4 or $5 a damn gallon for regular. Take that shit to Hawaii. It's probably 7, 8, 7, 9, something like that. I don't know. I'll look it up whenever I get a break. I'll look it up. But it's ridiculous. It is absolutely freaking insane. So no, I'm not trying to do that. No. You know what I mean? But the white woman was like, yo, that's the same country. And I was like, yeah. So I turned around and I was like, what's he talking about? Same country. So we started chatting up. And she goes, um, she says, and things are only getting worse, especially with the Karen Yo-Yo bird in office. And I was like, hey, be calm, be calm. We are in Georgia. So she goes, hey, this is why I'm not married. And my friends keep asking me, hey, when you get married? I was like, I can't get married. I can't find nobody. They're all fucking crazy. I was like, oh, okay. So we continue to talk. She says, "Yo, I've even gotten to the point where, okay, are you a Bush Republican? I'll give you some grace." Like it's bad. It is bad, and it's going to get worse. But the thing that I said to her was, a lot of this is about men feeling rejected. Men voted for Trump in huge numbers, huge numbers. I sound like him, don't I? But in great numbers, right? Because they felt rejected. This is a response to feminism. And feminism has really forced men into a corner that we're not used to nor are we comfortable with. We were very comfortable being idiotic and not thinking about women, especially in the workplace. Home, different story. Workplace, nah. Because when we are together, we gonna say some raunchy shit out of our mouths. That's what we do. We are going to refer to one another in some of the raunchiest of ways. That's what we do. The way that we speak amongst ourselves, quote unquote barbershop talk, quote unquote corner talk, whatever the hell you want to call it, is totally different than the way we have to be mindful when we speak around you all. So it was very comfortable for us to not have to consider you in the workplace. Then when you came in the workplace, it was, mm, but you knew it. I'm not saying me, I'm saying socially, a lot of women knew their lane. As things changed, as you all pushed out the envelope, as you all got more embedded in every sector, you started changing those social norms, right? Nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying anything's wrong with any of this. So you started asking for more space be given to you, more grace be granted towards you. And all these things. Again, none of this stuff is wrong, but it made us very uncomfortable. So the blowback from that is us again, generic, socially, men, feeling like they are caged in. They can't, we can't express ourselves. And, we are very simple creatures. We're very simple creatures. And when we're frustrated, we're going to blow something up. That's what we do. We're going to take something apart, build something. That's what we do. Or we are going to hit something or somebody. This is how most of us respond. This is normal male response. We're going to be creative as hell. We're going to take something apart. We're going to blow something up, or we going to slap the shit out of somebody. I mean, somebody's going to get hit in the mouth. It's going to be a fight somehow or another. It's going to be a tussle. Something's going to happen. This is what men do. This election was us breaking something. We literally voted to break this because we felt so frustrated by the system, and specifically the Democrats' part in the system, because the Democrats did nothing but constantly push in our face shit that we weren't comfortable with. Men don't want, again, generic. I'm speaking to me specifically. I'm not speaking of time specific. I'm not speaking of writing specific. Most men do not want to be in a restroom and worry about being in a restroom with a person that they don't know is either male or female. We don't want that. Most men don't want that. So when you constantly push the envelope to destroy, to erode these social constructs, and we go further and further and further into the corner, eventually we are going to lash out. And the lashing out on a large scale was the huge male turnout and vote for Donald Trump during this election. That was the lashing out. The other side of it was the cats that stood on the sidelines and just let shit happen. They checked out. Like, I'm done. I'm done. And again, it's the Democrats' fault for pushing shit time and time again that a large swath of the country wasn't ready for, and still isn't ready. Still isn't ready. Yeah, I've spoken on this before on the show. I think I did. I believe so because I know I've spoken about it in my personal life. So I usually bring that stuff into the show. There's this comedian. I think she's Latino, older lady. She's cool. She's funny as hell. And she talks about her three failed marriages. And one of the things she talks about, ladies, you can't change a man because they're in their simplest form. Like periodic table element man. It's like a rock. You cannot change a man. We operate 9 times out of 10 in our simplest form. We really are simple. She said, and you think about relationships where you think men are simple and women are complicated, your life gets so much better. Because men are very still simple. We're simple as hell. So yes, this thing that we're going through right now is our fault. It in large by far, it's the fault of most. That's not true. That is true. Most male voters who participated in this election. It is our fault. And it's going to take us to fix it. It's going to take those cats that sat on the sidelines like fuck it, it is what it is. And it's going to take those cats that went into the ballot box, circled, punched, pushed the hole, punched on the button or whatever the hell you did in order to cast your vote, to cast it in a different direction. I'm wary so though, and I'm gonna let everybody get in. Morning, Rashi. Morning, brother Barry. I'm gonna let you all get
What's
in.
good? What's good?
Right at this point, I'm gonna let you all get in. Another part of the airport experience yesterday was I'm standing there getting off the shuttle, and I look to my right and behind me. There's a young lady, attractive. I noticed that she's traveling with her son, and young man, I believe it's her son, and he's pushing a stroller. So the immediate thought, because I just caught the visual out the corner of the eye, corner of the eye, was damn, she waited a long time between kids. And then I looked back again. Stroller wasn't a baby. He was pushing a dog in a stroller. And I said to myself, Rodney speaks on us being ready all the time. How prepared are we for the challenges that are to come? I'm looking at this situation and thinking how lost a lot of people are, especially here in America, where you are buying clothing for an animal. You are considering an animal as a part of your family. I mean, like real family, not just oh yeah, I love. No, I mean like real. I'm not a pet owner. I was as a kid. I'm not anymore. So maybe I'm not as sensitive to it as others are. But there ain't no way in the world we can be ready to grab a go bag, some ammo, and dried food to survive, and we taking Fido along. And let's be clear, most of these things, and I gotta call them things because they things, they ain't no damn real dogs. They ain't no damn real dogs. A real dog is a Rottweiler, a German Shepherd, a Husky.
But you said she got a teacup. She got a teacup poodle.
There you go. Something that's going to protect you and your damn family. No little squeaky barky toy.
Well, can I tell you what my mama said? She said that you cannot, as of yet, buy dog or animal food on food stamps, and so you cannot have an animal. If your animal is competing with
I
food
like that.
and resources
I
for
like that.
actual humans in the building, then I personally, this is what she said as my mama, cannot condone an actual animal when I am struggling to feed human children. And so that's what I had to understand on a fundamental level. If it ain't gonna eat cigarette butts and if it ain't
Cigarette
gonna,
butt.
it would have to eat cigarette butts. It would have to eat whatever that animal is. It would have to eat non-essential items because all the food is going to the children. And so that was a very easy. It's gonna be easy. In a minute, you cannot afford a dog. You talking about picking up ammo? You talking about you won't be able to afford an actual dog, okay,
Mm.
or a cat. So there, hey, Mr. Rodney, don't do us like that now. I was on my way to Vegas, brother. I was finna catch two buses, a plane, and a train to see what the fuck was going. You won't do away with my personal elder without somebody telling me something. So I'm glad to see you, Brother Rodney. You know, it's a legitimizing fact. Some men will say you can't have a proper panel without a woman's or a man's voice, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
feel that way about an elder. If you sit up here and you got 10, 35-year-olds talking over something, I'm like, yep. Uh-huh. Where is the old dude at or the old lady at? Because there
Damn,
is
Rodney, you the old dude.
no, no,
Like
not old dude, but no. I'm not saying it right, Mr. Rodney.
that's what
Please
you
allow me.
said.
Let me.
That's clearly
Okay,
what you
okay. All
said.
right. Let me use my white motherfucking lady words then. Shit. What I prefer is a seasoned, mature individual
Oh
who is
man.
wizened
There you
and
go.
skilled in the
There you
daily
go.
workings of what it means to be an urban American. And I find that when we get the advice of a seasoned, mature urban American, we're able to practice the principles of Sankofa and learn from our past and not repeat failed. Why y'all make me see? That's why I drink so early. All I was trying to say is I miss Mr. Rodney, and y'all made me go
You,
tap into
well,
the white lady
you
words.
could have
And you
stayed
know
on
I
that
only
lane.
use white lady words for white people. Come on.
Well, you should have stayed in that lane because the lane you drifted in was on some old bullshit for real, for real. But that's all right. Well, morning, Rodney. How you doing, bro?
I'm sleepy, brother, but Sister Rashi, sure, that was good. You got me going. So the
That's
old
brother
No,
dude.
Barry. What's
honestly.
what's cracking? What's cracking? You on mute?
That's
You on
right.
mute?
So hey, everybody, good to see you. Glad to be here. The sun rose and I rose again today. Wouldn't do it for anybody else, but Brother Lee, let me tell you. Uh, so that shows you how much that brother means to me. Because it's I only had an hour of sleep, and brother, I could be asleep right now quite easily.
Well, look. Let Thomas get in, say what he needs to say. Then I got a couple words real quick. Go ahead, Thomas. Morning.
I'm gonna let y'all do most of the talking today. I plan on coming back on for a 5 hour stream in a row.
Wait a
Oh
minute.
Um,
wow.
Is,
Holy
for my,
shit.
for
wait a
my
minute. Is
You
that
doing you
Thomas
doing a
Berry
Cory
or?
Booker?
Hey, is it Thomas Berry? Is that Isaac Hayes?
You
What's
know what I'm
going
saying?
on?
Barry.
He got the
so
pace going on this morning.
Barry, you finna pull up a Booker?
no, what I gotta do for the platform. We're trying to make sure that we put the word out. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The only thing I want to talk about today is the Qatar base in Idaho. Because
Yo,
Okay.
that is,
Okay.
and you know it.
Foreign nationals
You know it.
operating a military base on American soil with the
because
amount of kind of come on. Why are we
because
talking
for
about
me,
anything else?
I don't want to rebut your intro. But I feel like what this government has made us do as Americans is point fingers at each other versus pointing fingers at the real culprit. The real culprit is the corporations. It's not the people buying the dogs. It's the people that's on the social media platforms that are telling them that they need a dog subconsciously.
There you go.
It's the people who are manipulating people to make them feel like it was okay to take a sabbatical right after the death of George Floyd. It's the people who, when Trump got elected, which me and Rodney talked about yesterday, we cannot pinpoint the person or the institution or the organization that said we are sitting this out. That just all of a sudden became something on social media. No one can pinpoint the originator of the phrase, and it became a theme. Why did it become a theme? And then while we were sitting it out, look at the momentum that has been built. And by the time you hop back into the game, the train is too fast for you to stop.
Yep.
So we have to understand that sometimes, and our distractions, because Diddy's gonna be all right, y'all. He's still
Oh,
a
he gonna be
million.
fine.
Even though they're going to take some of his property, he's still going to be okay. Jay-Z's going to be all right. You ain't got to worry about Jay. The NFL players, they're going to be all right. But if they put this Air Force base on American soil, this is him having his own military just in case the people vote him out. And that's the kind of stuff that I feel like when I'm watching. Interestingly enough, CNN was the only cable news network that's reported it.
I'm sorry. I think you may have left the fool in the room. Please hold back. Can you double back? You're saying that the Qatar nation is going to provide Donald Trump with an in-country personal military from Qatar
Air Force base in Idaho.
Okay.
that is going to operate on. I'm saying that's what I'm sorry. I'm trying. Please forgive me.
So it's not an Air Force base. So what they're going to do is add a facility to Mountain Home Air Force Base.
Lee, it is an Air Force base for a couple reasons. If they need to get up out of town because people want their head, now the Trump family hasn't escaped. If they need to, they're not just here for the sake of being here. And I know this is the thing with Trump and media. Trump gets the benefit of the doubt because Americans always want you can precog and see where it's going.
Okay.
That $400 million plane wasn't for free.
Absolutely. This is the string that was attached. And I get that, but I just want to be clear. They're not building another base. They're asking for space on Mountain Home to build. Singapore also already has space on Mountain Home Air Force Base as well for training facility. So this is not uncommon.
That's what I thought.
However, go ahead.
No, fear. Go ahead. I was telling you.
I'm sorry. Let me back off of that. Let me change my verbiage. You're absolutely right, Rodney, with the cocking of your head. It's not unprecedented. It is, though, uncommon. And to your point, Thomas, yes, the plane wasn't free, and obviously here's a condition for the plane. And I don't think this is something that they wanted. I think this is something that Trump and them wanted. To your point, bro, just in case they got to get out, they can get out.
Well, I think they know. I think they know. This is why I always say the problem with our generation is that we really are easily distracted. This all goes down to when this session comes back in. Yes. They know what's coming next. Everybody's hinting to it. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's trying to figure out a way to jump off the ship.
Yeah, the release of the Epstein files.
But they don't want to let go. It's part of the reason why you come in and you talk about your military the way that they did Hegseth. It's no accident that Hegseth was the one that was talking trash to the military, but he's also the one with Trump when they announced this deal. And this is no different than telling the American worker, you're not skilled enough. That's why we got to go hire these people from India. So what are you saying to the people in the military a week after you had them there? You told them they were fat, out of shape. Then you're telling these Qatarians that they're going to be there. And it's not like they're just going to be building. They're talking about a joint session. So that means when you're joint with the Air Force, right? And you're right there in Idaho. So this is a lot bigger. And
I got a question. So are we alluding that maybe the Qatarians have saved the American economy in some superficial way that we don't know? Now they get to
how do you arrive? Like they gave him a $400 million plane. How did that save the American people? He's not the American people.
So what we're saying, I thought we were saying as plain as day, is
I'm sorry. I'm trying to follow.
It's okay. What we're saying is they are now his escape plan when the balloon pops and he got to get the hell out of the country. They will be here to provide him with that cover in case he needs to get out of the country. And because, to Brother Barry's point again, they are being allowed to jointly operate, they can take off and land whenever they want to. They don't necessarily have to declare what they are carrying on or off to us. They don't have to declare that. They should not have to declare that to us. I can almost guarantee you that's how they're going to write this. I can almost guarantee you that. I can
Well,
almost guarantee you that.
Is
they,
that how other embassies
Hold
and
on,
whatnot
hold on,
operate?
hold
Is
on.
that because we got embassies, right?
Rodney had something. No. Rodney had something to say. Go ahead, Rodney.
so it's not an embassy, so it doesn't
Correct.
not going to operate like that's Qatari territory, and only the Qataris control it. It still falls under the control of the United States Air Force. But I did want to read you guys. I don't know if you saw the clarification from Leaky Pete. Your mama call you trash, Hepsef. Did you guys read it?
No, I didn't see that.
What?
Okay.
See, I'm trying to listen, and I just Leaky Pete, your mama call you trash. Excellent.
Yeah, so he says, and I'm reading directly from him. Important clarification. The U.S. military has a long-standing partnership with Qatar, or Qatar, depending on how you say it, including today's announced cooperation with F-15QA aircraft. However, comma, to be clear, comma, Qatar will not have their own base in the United States, hyphen, nor anything like a base, period. We control the existing base, comma, like we do with all partners. Now, this is not, and that's the end of his post. So it's not to say that anything you all are saying is not correct, but I just wanted to update you because Leaky Pete, your mama call you trash, Pepsev, has gotten a lot of backlash according to this article from that announcement. That doesn't mean that they're actually going to do anything different, but they are
Correct.
putting a different public spin to it.
I mean, to Thomas's account, though, you only need one aircraft there to get somebody or who somebody's away without saying what. You only
Yep.
need one. You don't even. It's not. You don't even need a fleet.
But
So,
the
so what we
loadout,
talking about now is we
so
got.
the so the
Uh-huh.
loadout of those aircraft though still has to go through the Americans. Their
Okay.
comings and goings officially, they do what they want, but it's giving you. I used to run all the ground space right here at Nellis Air Force Base. Every aircraft that comes on, whether foreign or domestic, it doesn't make a difference. They're going to have to declare their load, approve their load, and they're going to have to provide a flight plan. If they don't provide a flight plan and an aircraft moves, there's something called a stop alert that has to be done. So, again, I'm just giving you the official stuff on how it works, how they actually do it. We know it can always change, but if they're having any type of ordinance on those aircraft, it's going to have to be declared to the Americans and approved first.
But Rodney, isn't this the same group who said they didn't know anything about Project 2025?
2025.
People are just making this stuff up as they go. And I'm thinking about it from the vantage point of them, the loyalty test to the military. So let's say in Idaho, you put all your Trump loyalists on this particular Air Force base, and you have the Qatar, whatever they got going on over there. That means you've already gotten your own particular Air Force base that's loyal to you. It can be on the log or whatever you're going or however you're going. Let's say it's just Fort MAGA for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And Fort MAGA now has military weaponry all into itself, along with foreign aid. I'm just looking at it from the vantage point of how this psycho and his team thinks.
Hmm.
And so that's why Laura Loomer is on X posting 40 times saying she's done with the Trump regime. She won't vote at all. This is why Bannon is calling it out. This is why all of these people are trying to jump ship. And
Even Musk, right? Even Elon Musk jumped ship a little bit, right?
I haven't heard from him yet, but I will say probably the thing that for me, my problem with it is that if CNN is the only cable news network, we're talking 24-hour news reporting that's reporting this. MSNBC has not talked about it. Who owns MSNBC?
Right winger.
And before that, it was a military contractor, correct? GE.
Well, it was a conflation of
Comcast, GE, then the right winger, right? But then you look at it and you say, well, Fox ain't saying nothing either. Nobody's talking about it. This should be pretty big news in America.
It should be all over the news, dog. I agree with you.
It should be crazy.
That and something else just happened. Oh, the Army is taking a $1 million donation to cover the expenses of commanding officers that need to come to DC for a training exercise. Who in the fuck allows that to happen? Are you serious right now? So we're taking a $1 million donation? Seriously? Does that not sound fishy to anybody but me? Does that not stink to high hell to anybody but me? Okay, why do we need a donation when allegedly these tariffs are bringing in records of millions and millions of dollars? Just use some of that money. Move that. So I don't get it. They're talking about using that for cover to pay the military. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, that had me riled up. I'm like, yo, that's some bullshit. That's some straight up bullshit. But Thomas, you ain't done yet because Rodney hit me to something the other day that I had missed, and that was the young lady that got shot in Chicago by the Ice Age. They rammed her car after saying that she rammed their car, but then footage comes out showing that they rammed her and shot her. Talking about she was armed with a semi-automatic weapon. Well, she was a licensed concealed carrier.
Said she had it in her hand.
Okay. My apologies. Thank you for the correction. But again, you can be armed if you're a licensed concealed carrier. That's the point of having a license for concealed carry.
Yeah.
Shot her multiple times.
Yeah, where they do that at?
Well, you know, they did that in DC to the sister that had a mental health breakdown a few years ago. And it's always, this is why people must have their own footage, because you can't trust it. The thing that I want people to recognize is that they have a camera crew running behind these ICE agents in Chicago like it's Cops, the television series. They're filming this. And to me, I think a lot of it is so that they can control the propaganda. The thing about AI that makes things dangerous is that you can fake a lot of things. I just saw an AI version of the crash inside of Louisiana with the young man Kyron that the police is putting out. After the video came out showing it, he had nothing to do with it. They put out a deep fake video showing something different. And this is where we're at right now. We're in a world where real is no longer real. And the only way people are going to be able to decipher what's real is people are going to have to unplug. But folks are addicted to the dopamine. I'm going to tell you how this drug dealer social media works. I haven't been posting a lot this week. But you know who reminded me I haven't been posting a lot this week? Facebook. I haven't been on Snapchat in forever. You know who I get text about all the time saying I need to get back on Snapchat? Snapchat. Because if you're not buying their drugs, they have to let you know that you're not getting high enough. You're not performative enough. And some of us haven't pulled back enough to understand why are they advertising and telling you your percentage of how much you're integrating into their system. That means that they are clocking your hours, they're clocking your time, and they're trying to manipulate your mind. With that being said, when you take this young lady in Chicago who was murdered, what they're hoping to do is, you know, they want to instigate a firefight. And to me,
So they declare martial law.
so they can declare martial law. Well, they already, but the more
So
important thing to me though is, and this is what I would say to anybody out here who may have an immigrant relative or someone they're in relationship with. I don't know why, and this goes back to my old things about what I said last week about being in the streets. When you know it's funk season, you don't be on the streets. When I'm watching people that just out and about walking and just doing things as normal, I don't feel sorry for them because you can't tell me that you know it's on and you acting like it ain't on.
it ain't on. Right.
And like don't wait for these people to come when you already see they're already in your city. Get yourself somewhere safe, even if you're moving in the middle of the night. Get yourself somewhere safe. People are not getting themselves somewhere safe. And then by them not getting themselves somewhere safe, they're putting other Americans in danger by proxy. The other side of it, too, is let's not forget this dark web conversation and things that we may not be aware of in our community. But you know that there's some prize money that's been thrown around so people can report who's illegal, who's not, who's immigrant, who's not. And I feel like that's the conversational piece that we have not had even on here, but nationwide. It's like, hey, while y'all still moving around, you might have to take that hit per se, right? You may have to take that hit of you can't move around the way you want to move around because when they come, they're coming directly for you. You send your kid to school and you know that kid is undocumented. I don't care what the teacher, the principal, or whatever say, they can't protect you. They can't protect
Right.
your kid.
Right.
Don't send your kid to that. Don't go to the courthouse. You're not getting protected by the bailiffs. We've seen this over and over and over again, and maybe it will stop once Americans stop showing up to work. When these illegal immigrants just stop showing up to work, stop showing up to the banks, stop showing up to pay these fines and these fees, and then you go to these places where you think they at and they're not there. But if I was them, I would not be moving as freely as I'm seeing them move in Chicago.
That's a good call out, bro. I think
Okay,
that
okay, hold
uh,
on 1 second. Please, Lee, just give me 5 seconds, please.
go ahead, go ahead.
Now, the recent mass shooting, it was in Alabama, okay? One of the most recent. It happened on the 4th, okay? And it
Okay.
was, unfortunately, it was one of our own. It was a young black boy who shot 14 people and killed two of them, okay? Where did it happen, Thomas? Now, you're talking about setting yourself up for cannon fodder, being out there in the scene. It happened at the end of the homecoming football thing. Now come on now. You can't go to homecoming, you can't go to the grocery store, you can't go to church, you can't go to school, you can't go to work, depending on where you work. I mean, you cannot sit at home, Thomas, for the rest of your life because some sociopath
I don't
wants
want
to
you to,
make a claim for himself.
Sister
I
Rocky,
need
I
you
don't
to
want
hear
you
that's the end game.
I
It's
don't
like
want
the
you to,
classroom, Barry. You
I
know
don't
that
want you to
one dude
conflate what I said. I don't want you to
that,
conflate what I said with the
that
illegal immigrants to average everyday citizens. Don't mix those two up. You put them both in the same category. What I'm saying is if you know that you are an illegal immigrant and you know that they are out looking for illegal immigrants, to be an American, I'm not saying stop doing your everyday thing. I'd be cautious because of the mass shootings, but I'm not telling you not to. I'm saying if you are an illegal immigrant and you know ICE is in your city, why would you put yourself there? That's
I
different.
mean, at this point, brothers, let's talk. What you more afraid of? An ICE raid or a mass shooting?
If
Let's
I'm
be
a legal,
clear.
if I'm a legal immigrant, I'm more afraid of ICE because even if it's a mass shooting, then they targeted everybody in mass. They're not targeting me specifically. But if they see me at the hot dog stand, the hamburger stand, and they run up on me because I'm Latino, or I'm getting out of my car trying to drop off some Uber Eats, and they don't even care if the person get the food or not, then I know I'm being targeted. That's a lot different. Mass shooting means a person shows up and he's just at everybody in the lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a comfortable place to be. But if you're talking about somebody specifically rounding people up and you know you're a part of that target, then you have to move accordingly. And I don't like it when we like, I don't want to conflate the two because they're two different issues. The mass shooting is a major problem, and we have to do something about these guns, and we have to do something about that. But ICE is legally, like the mass shooter guy, he's either gonna get killed or go to jail. When ICE is doing what they're doing to these folks, roughing them up, snatching the kids, separating the kids from the parents, like you don't put your family in that. To me, I wouldn't want to put my family in that type of situation.
I
One of the
I
go
was
ahead.
under the impression we were discussing the inability to move about American society for fear of being something happening to you.
No, that's not.
Period.
No, that's not. No, that's not what I was saying. I was talking about the sister who had the situation with ICE inside of Chicago. And I was saying the idea that a lot of this is happening because a lot of these, when you start watching the video of people who are being snatched up off the streets, they're going about business like it's every day. They're just walking around and these people are just bum rushing them everywhere they go. You go to the post office, they're there waiting on you. You go to work, they're at your job. You go to Walmart, they're there at Walmart. That's what I'm talking about if you are an illegal immigrant. If you are an American, I'm not saying not to move around. That's not what I'm saying. But if you are an illegal immigrant and no matter whether you work or you in a gang, they're treating you the same way. They're conflating
So
what everyone said was criminal, the drug dealers, right? The human traffickers. They don't care about them now. If you work at Krispy Kreme, to them, you are a criminal too.
so one of the things that I've noticed, and I'm surprised like hell, I still see a lot of Latinos outwardly speaking Spanish in public. Dog, what are you thinking? Like seriously, this ain't the time. This is the time for your ass to speak English like a mofo or say nothing, especially out in public, because
What?
you never know
What?
whom one of these catchers is going to be. And to Rodney's point, they haven't even been released on the streets yet in mass.
Okay, Kansas. Okay, this is what's happening. I guess Kansas City is under some spotlight for the World Cup, and they haven't came here like that yet. Or
Mhm.
if they have it, it's not being publicized intentionally. Because I promise
Mhm.
you, there isn't a Hispanic person in Kansas City that can't go buy them five chalupas right now if they want it. They could do. They have school. They have their job. They're going to the two in one of the two immigration hubs we have in the city. I think it must be a difference between being a sanctuary city and a non-sanctuary city, because if you are a sanctuary city, they're not who riding like that.
I disagree. What Thomas is trying to say is they need to get ready for what's coming because it's coming. And hell, it's already here.
I mean, but
So
you can't get
regardless
ready
of
for something you're not actually seeing in your reality. This is what I'm trying to share with you, brothers. I'm saying it hasn't happened on a federal level. So
Huh?
when
it's just,
you
but
not
that is
the
that's
state to
Thomas.
state, yes, city, major city, even maybe to major city. But if you are a B city or a C city, you are not seeing ICE who ride like that.
But if
You,
you know that ICE is in your town,
Thank you.
here's the point. We're
That's our
saying
point.
our point is they are telling you they're in Chicago and surrounding suburbs. They're telling you that they are going to be moving around California. They're telling you they're going to be moving around blue states. We just had a bunch of uh, men who were roofers in St. Paul last week. They took the entire crew from a backyard, 16 men.
Wow.
And so to me, What I'm saying is you got to be aware. And when they're not aware, this goes back to our conversation last week. When other people go and protest, they're protesting because of what happened to you. And in the instance, other people are putting their life in danger. And let me tell you guys a most famous story. And I've used to use this in my second grade class as a lesson to why it's important for you to make sure you do what's right so other people don't get punished. We often talk about Black Wall Street of Tulsa openly. And we always say that, and we talk about how they destroyed Tulsa. The real conversation was the brother from Chicago who was doing what he would do in Chicago inside of Oklahoma and not understanding the landscape, a little too playful, tripped automatically, try to hold himself up by the little white girl's dress. They wanted to lynch that brother. And because the people inside of Tulsa wasn't going to allow that to happen, that started the burning and the rioting of Tulsa. That's a true story. Look it up. What you are not aware of can cost other people. And sometimes we use it as an excuse. But you have to be careful.
But not only that, again, to his point, you know this is coming. This is the time for you to start getting uncomfortable with what you've been doing in order to protect yourself and your family. Because you know this is coming. You know this is, you see it every day. So yes, don't wait until they're knocking on your damn door for you to adjust your lifestyle. Right? If we worked at any company, and we saw massive layoffs constantly happening, do we wait to the last? Do we wait to get laid off before we start reassessing our budget and be like, yo, hold on now, maybe I need to pull back on going to Starbucks every day. Maybe I just need to go to Starbucks twice a week. I might need to put that money away. Maybe I need to put some money away instead of spending money on DoorDash 3 times a day. Maybe I need to just go out once a week and still keep that to a $50 budget because I can save the rest of that money for my go time if I gotta go. That's what he's trying to say. I believe. Thomas, if I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong.
What I'm saying is that if I know that I'm being hunted,
correct,
I'm gonna move accordingly to I know that they're hunting me.
There you
and
go.
I'm not gonna put other people in danger. And also I'm gonna be aware of the fact that other people may see me and call ICE to put other people in danger.
Because to your point, you don't know how much money is being dangled out in front of people in order to snitch. You know what I'm saying?
We had a situation here. I'm gonna show y'all how people lie openly. We had a situation here last year where ICE was here. Y'all remember I showed it online, and we had this whole thing, and the Minneapolis Police Department, the chief came out and said, "Oh, we had nothing to do with that. We were just there to make sure that none of the people were hurt." Well, came out this week. No, they were a part of the coordination with the federal government and ICE, and they got thanked for it. These people just be lying for the sake of lying. And if you want to believe everything that come out of their lying ass mouth, that's your choice. But if I was on the end of being hunted, I'm going to do what I feel like I need to do to be safe. Like the dumbass fool who was out of jail from Louisiana in Atlanta. You know, why would you pick a fight with the chick? How are you the one on the run and you arguing with your girlfriend? No, baby, what you say is right. You're absolutely right. What do you need me to do? I'll even sit and watch the paint dry. Just don't call the police. That's how that works. Because you're not in a position, if you're being hunted, to cause attention to yourself. And we have to get out of this world we want it to be and start living in the world that it is.
It is.
You know, Rodney said that to me yesterday so smooth and elegantly about how we look at world affairs, but it is the truth. We're ran by what we want things to be compared to how things are. And how things are right now is if you are an immigrant and you do not have a legal reason to be in this country, this administration has put a target on your back. And you may not get treated fairly. Your children may not get treated fairly. They may not respect anything about your personhood. You have to know that. That's on you to know. And if you don't, you may be putting your family in danger, or you may be putting other Americans in danger when these wild cowboys show up with masks toting guns. And that's something that we have to discuss.
Rodney, what did you want to say?
So I remember some years ago, I talked about Black people and younger people and how they dress. And I compared it to it's deer season and you walk outside with a deer suit, then the hunters are going to see a deer and they're going to shoot you. So I think that's sort of what brother, at least that's what I get out of what Brother Barry is saying is, hey, it's deer season. So you may not, all the deers need to stay home. And if you dress like a deer, you probably don't want to be out there. But I do think it's a little broader than that, because DHS has released that what they're telling their agents to do, the ones that's being newly released on the streets, is they want them to just literally go in the streets and round up anybody. They really don't care anymore whether they look like they are a immigrant or not. Their direct words are go on the streets. And remember, Stephen Miller gave that speech about how they weren't bringing in enough and how they need to, he's the one that says you need to go to Home Depot, you need to go to Lowe's and just arrest people. Well, now DHS, it leaked out that DHS has told them, no, don't worry about going to the jails and these other places. Just go on the street and start rounding people up. So no one is going to be safe on the streets under this administration. And again, yes, you're absolutely right. They haven't put the 10,000 folks out. This is the folks that they have. Once they put the 10,000 folks out, that's going to more than double the number of people from DHS that's out.
So, brothers, there is no such thing as a sanctuary city. I just quit saying the words.
Those days are done. That was
Them
done.
days,
That was done under the Biden administration. That sanctuary city is what they're targeting. So what they're saying is, you thought it was safe. Look, it's no different than going after unions, even if there's Republicans working for the unions and saying, "Hey, we'll crush that union."
But I'm getting money for it. They actually rain school district money down for accepting the children. They get housing. They get health care. We're still giving it to them. What are you talking about? If it's not a sanctuary city, then why do I right now have more than 11 children who have been in the United States for only 6 months? That is what it is.
But you live in a red state. I live in a blue state. It's the difference. Illinois is a blue state. They're saying that they're going after the 18 states that voted against them. That's the other side of it too. It's like people gotta really like this idea of America. Like, we can't just read a paragraph and know the news story no more.
Yeah, for real.
Everybody, the details matter. And the problem is that we're missing the details and everybody's still carrying on like it's normal until you are on that bus or that plane and you have to deal with these federal bozos treating you like you are an illegal Haitian because we all look the same. This is where it's going to go, because it's only going to be Latinos for so long. And then they're going to flip. Then they're going to make it about Haitians. And then they'll say it's all of us. This is why it takes a lot more than us sitting on the sidelines saying that we're tired, because this is about to be a hell of a fight. So everybody that was on the sidelines, everybody who thought boycotting Target was going to be the wave, man, it's a whole new fight. And
it's Dollar General now.
Hey, brother, You can boycott them corporations all you want to, but what happens when you got a federal government that's boycotting you?
There you go. There you
So
go.
there are still sanctuary cities. They're not officially gone yet, because sanctuary cities are determined by whoever is running that municipality. So we have multiple sanctuary cities still now. Whether the federal government respects the sovereignty of those cities,
Mhm.
that's the big question that may be coming to a head in Chicago, because basically the mayor of Chicago has invoked his city as a sanctuary city, and under his authority, he's saying that you're not able to come here, you're not able to use law enforcement, there will be no coordination, et cetera, which are the provisions under a sanctuary city. And he also has said that as long as you're on federal property, you do what you do. But the minute that you step into the municipality, then you're subject to our rules and our guidelines. And so, the fine point I want to put on that is, it's a simple question. When is the last time a Southern army has invaded a northern state, or for that matter, a northern city? Do you all remember when the last time that was?
Civil War.
Exactly. So let's recognize this for the potential of what it is, because a Southern army has invaded a northern state without the permission of that state. 45 could have said, send in the Illinois National Guard. But the judges already ruled that he shouldn't be sending in anybody's
Any
National Guard.
National Guard, correct.
But he got a red state, and of course Texas. And keep in mind what even the Oklahoma governor don't want to do it, and actually spoke against Texas for doing it. So if I think, is it Brandon Johnson? That's the mayor of Chicago.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, if Mayor Johnson, if 45 calls his bluff, then the real question is, what's he going to do? Or here's the other piece. If those troops or the Border Patrol, which now says they're protecting the Chicago border, but if the
What
Border
what
Patrol,
what borders does Chicago have? I'm trying to
well, they got the
understand
Michigan,
that.
they
Michigan.
got the Michigan River. So
Oh yeah, that
No,
border.
not the river, the lake Michigan.
Michigan, yeah. So
That,
they're
that
saying
sits
that
over
they're
Canada.
protecting that. But the thing
Yeah,
is,
from the Canadians, because the Canadians just want to overtake America without a doubt.
well, you never know when they may drop in. But the thing is this is really, y'all said that the other thing was the only thing you want to talk about. This is the crisis, because 45 said that he called for the arrest of Mayor Johnson and Governor Pritchett.
Mhm.
Well, if his troops are there, they have already used Black Hawk helicopters to attack the apartments. Well, if the troops are there, the troops could go in and pick up Mayor Johnson, or attempt to pick up Mayor Johnson, or attempt to pick up Governor Pritchett. Well, Governor Pritchett has his own law enforcement, and he does have his own, I think he still has control of his own National Guard. So this is probably the closest in physical proximity of that civil war that everybody's afraid is going to start, which I submit has already been started, and we're taking casualties. But this is a story, and it's a big story, because they're actually not in Chicago right now. They're on the outskirts. But what happens if they decide, hey, this is going to be like the movie Civil War, and we're going in, and we're going to get that mayor?
Well, I mean, listen, that's something to be talked about, and I think that if Chicago's in an interesting space because it's surrounded by red states. Illinois is surrounded by red states. It's surrounded by Indiana. It's surrounded by Kentucky. It's surrounded by, well, Kentucky does. It's a red state, but it has a Democratic governor. It is surrounded by Iowa, and it's surrounded by Wisconsin. Those are the borders. Oh, and Missouri. Those are the borders of Illinois. And so they're an interesting company, because when you think about that, and you think about their position, it's a tough position to be in when you have so many people who are on this cult train. However, I say this and I still stand on it. By Halloween,
October 31st.
I'm not moving because you
All
can.
right, before you prophesy, I just want to also add that Illinois itself is having issues. They're trying to separate that state. They want to legislatively and district wise separate themselves as an east and almost northeast and south. Let me say that better: southeast and northwest Illinois, because they are tired of the issues and the heavy weight that Chicago has on and its surrounding suburbs.
If
You
they
know, it's a sprawl.
if they do
Has
that, they will go bankrupt. Whatever
Yeah, I'm
that
about to say the money is in
what
Chicago. That
the
don't make
money
no
is in
sense.
Chicago. Uh,
I think you're underestimating the stronghold of agricultural and industrial America. But
uh,
when you do the numbers and you realize where some of the even with or without the subsidies, where the money resides, as the
they,
man
they, they,
explained.
they may
I,
they may have been talking
okay.
that way before Trump. Farmers are not raking in dollars anymore. Farmers are off that MAGA train at this point because they're not getting the subsidies.
And the ones that aren't are fools.
So yeah, they're off that. I'm pretty sure they probably was talking that before the cuts, but they've been cut and now they're barking. The MAGA train, y'all, they're losing steam. It was a great segment on CNN last night talking about all the people and all of the participants that are hopping off because it was good when they thought other people were getting the pain. Now
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
oh man, Marjorie's like, yo. Now she hasn't gone as far yet to call Trump out. She calls out everybody else, right? So you got to watch her because you got to watch her, man. She's a
She's a
block.
snake charmer.
You got to watch her, but I do think, and going back to my 31st, I think that it's going to be enough things that's going to come out, and I feel like, as they said yesterday on CNN, it's the panic button because they can't distract people because people are asking questions. This healthcare situation, people are worried. This Epstein situation, people are worried. These tariffs that he said was going to make people well ain't making people well. People are worried. And now that you have people worried, the only thing that could derail it is a national crisis. But thus far, MAGA has been the only national crisis in the past 10 months.
Don't put it past him.
Well, it's going to have
We
to
have
be. It's going to
we
have to
have
be
faced,
tougher. It's going to have
we
to be.
have faced other national crises. Do not put it past them. And
So
as
this is
as
the
power hungry as they are, I wouldn't put it past them. Sorry, go ahead, brother Rodney.
this is the first time I've heard about this situation in Illinois. So of course I looked it up,
Mhm.
and I'm actually I can see it happening because
Okay.
what they're saying is kind of pretty much what Sister Rashi said. The rural areas and the farms, they're not feeling the love from Chicago. And as far as they're concerned, they can do away with being associated with it, and they would rather be with one of the
Come on
other
now. I feel
red
so seen. I
because they
feel
say
so seen.
culturally they don't have anything to do with those urban areas. What
Okay.
are they talking about with the urban areas and what's the demographics of those farmers?
That's
And there
right.
seems to be actually quite a, quite a bit of momentum in the state with at least
'Cause they got
33
subsidies.
counties
The
approving it.
farmers, this is America, the national dairy, this, that,
But
and that, and the beef, who and the what, the
What's the
soybean,
date on
bobbity beep,
what's the
bop,
date on
bop.
the article? What's the date on the article?
Well, I just looked it up. It's no article.
So,
They're also saying that a big part of this is cultural differences. Is that the people in the rural areas and the farmers, they're not associating. They don't
Rodney,
have any
if it's on a
association with.
website and it doesn't have a date on it, I bet you.
No, it's actual video footage.
Oh
There's
no,
been two
I'm not disagreeing.
town halls,
Hmm.
and the citizens. It's legislative. I'm telling you, it's
But
not. It's like I'm
I'm asking
sorry.
a good question. What's the date? What is the
So,
date?
so I'm actually reading the Illinois succession bill
Hmm.
that's in U.S. Well, it's in multiple publications.
Okay, but what do we got a date?
I'm clicking on it now, Brother Bear.
Because to me, what I'm saying to you all is it's they're recognizing that they are the pain is distributed to them as well. And so the idea, I mean, this was a MAGA thing going in to try to break the whole Illinois piece up. But if they're not getting those subsidies, I can almost guarantee you right now, when you look at those farmers, that's the main thing
I mean, but are we underestimating the power of a union? The power of an association that receives quite a bit of money from long-term donors, especially as our boomer population dies with that good money. I mean,
The,
I think we underestimate. I'm
oh,
sorry.
gosh. The last update I see is from February 18th. There hadn't been no movement since. To your point, Brother Barry, it ain't gonna happen because
It's a
them farmers.
bill. It's not, it's a bill.
I understand it's a bill, but with them farmers getting cut from them damn subsidies, ain't nobody gonna push that bill forward at this moment. It's a bill. It cleared the first hurdle. It hasn't gone to the people yet. It's just cleared the first hurdle, and
Well,
that
it
was
has
back
gone
in
to
February.
people because there's 33, 33 counties that have actually supported it. So that's how it got moved up. So there
Yeah,
is a large number of people
in
that
a MAGA pitch fest in February.
Right. Absolutely.
Now it's October.
Not right. It ain't been
Do
no
you,
word on it since.
do you feel like a nigga too at this point? Because that's the difference. Because that's the difference. And that's really what it is. It's
That
about
be what it is. That do
other
be what it is.
people hurt, and now you're hurting. And we've seen this with all the people who voted for Trump. Yeah. And I can almost guarantee you it was a Heritage Foundation funded idea. We know who's funding these ideas in blue states. Yeah, they do it. This same thing they're doing here. It's the reason why they're here. It's the reason why they're focusing on the Medicaid fraud and all the fraud here. They're paying them to focus on it. Look, it is what it is. But
so
Yeah. So it.
once 45 sends those like he bailed the farmers out in his first term, yeah, they felt some pain, but he still sent the money. Um, it would be to his benefit for him to do the same because it would give a 51st state. So that means you have another congressional seat. You have two senatorial seats that he would gain. They're already talking about redistricting in multiple states. That's picking up steam. So this doesn't really seem far-fetched. It actually seems right in line with
well,
the plan. And if
well,
you
if you start,
separate white people from black people and you can stop funding the black
Black people.
side, but now you can send money specifically to the white side, it sounds pretty much right in line with his playbook.
that sounds good until those counties in Texas that are primarily blue say, well, we want the same thing. Or what about the counties in other places that are primarily blue, but they have red representation, like Carolina and other places? Wait, when they start saying that, when you start playing with states' rights, because this is what we're talking about, playing with states' rights, which is an anti-Republican take, then everything is on the table. And if you want to play that game, everybody's going to play that game, and you're only going to be in power for so long.
But
And
they're
that's
playing it already, though. I mean, that's
no,
the whole.
they're playing parts of the game. The other
They're
aspect,
redistricting.
but Rodney,
They're redistricting states right now.
you have to have the Congress back in session to do it. Tell Big Bad Mike Johnson to bring his people back so you can have that vote.
Okay, so that's not stopping them from redistricting right now. without congressional approval, Texas and some other states, and now California.
But you're talking redistricting is a lot different than succession from a state. When you're talking about succession,
okay,
pulling away and making your own particular state, you're playing with the state rights of that state. And if you're going to do that, you have to have Congress in session for one.
The state is doing it.
Well, the state, what is the state doing? Because the governor is there. He got veto power. He can veto that.
He can, but it's not changing what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but it doesn't change the fact, and it is a fact that redistricting is happening. Yes, it's different from the state changing, but the counties within a state have put forth paperwork and are actively pursuing, and they have the counties, 33 counties that have already signed on to it. So the ball, now I don't know whether it's going any place, but it doesn't change the fact that the ball is in motion. Illinois, and it would fall in line with, I use the redistricting just as a juxtaposition to show why it falls in line with what the POTUS wants. You get 2 more senators. Well, the Senate is almost evenly divided. Right?
Almost, yeah.
So you get 2 more senators. That, especially with the elections coming up, where potentially, if we actually have them, it could swing the other way. This gives him an advantage. And it's interesting that you talked about October 31st, because the whole reason why Nevada became a state was to give Lincoln extra votes, extra delegates, to give more voting power in Congress, because it was a part of Utah. And then they didn't like it, so they decided they wanted to split off.
So let me ask you a question, simple math question. How many counties is in the state of Illinois? Simple math question. You know? Because I mean, listen, I know I'm a Midwest kid right next door. You know how many counties? There's 102. You talking 33. Yep. It's a Democratic strong. They will walk their ass, and then they'll make sure that they spank their ass afterwards for playing. That's just that's pie in the sky. You talking about 102 counties, you talking 33. There ain't even 50%.
Yeah.
So how you going? But again, are you going to take it? You got to take it militarily,
industrially, agriculturally. It is the way they are affiliated, Brother Barry. You shut something down and there is no milk, or there is no cereal, or there is no steel. These are counties that have machinery making, manufacturing, beholding type behavior. And it's not just a regular podunk town with all they got is 2 community colleges and some Starbucks. They have
they might not have Starbucks, they closing up shop.
Hey, okay, so we're talking about major employment hubs where they have car manufacturing. They're not just regular places, all right, Thomas? So when you count them like, ooh, bam, you can't draw it like a square. You have to draw it in.
That's not what I'm saying.
You have to draw it like power within that area. It's like,
what I'm saying is, if you got 33 counties out of 102 counties talking, you can't discount the other 69 counties and what they want. And if you talk about succession, how succession is done is either by the vote or by the gun. So you ain't going to outvote them. What you going to do?
So
none of it is off limits.
I
said none of what you just said is off limits.
Well,
like you said, by the vote or by the gun.
I take the other 69 states against them farmers.
We need to keep it moving, because we haven't gotten to Israel, Hamas. We haven't talked about the Nobel Peace Prize and other things. But that's Rashi. Great point. Great call out. Did not know about the secession plan that Illinois had, and just to add a caveat to that, it's actually the Illinois-Indiana secession plan. So I don't know what the hell that's all about. I'll do some more digging into that, and maybe we can discuss that at a later time on another show. But so Israel and Hamas The ceasefire started at noon yesterday. Hamas has 72 hours to turn over all the prisoners of war. Israel is also releasing all the Palestinians so they can go back to their homes. Palestinians at the point of the ceasefire started trekking back to their homes to put together their lives as best they can. It is proposed that, first off, it's a 29-point ceasefire plan. It calls for a stabilization force backed by the U.S. and other Arab states. President Trump is traveling to Israel to address their parliament on Monday, tomorrow. He's leaving the country in the middle of a governmental shutdown. We will talk about that in a half a second. I believe that he thought getting this done and getting it done as quickly as possible was necessary because he was pushing outwardly to be given the Nobel Peace Prize. It went to a woman, a Latino woman. Don't you love it? Maria Corina Machado. She is the Venezuelan opposition leader, 58 years old. She won for her tireless work promoting democratic rights. The committee noted that she is the woman who keeps the flame of democracy going amidst a growing darkness while looking to achieve a just and peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy. She has been in hiding for over a year. She was not allowed to participate in the last presidential elections there in Venezuela. President Nicolas Maduro, he actually won that election. The polls and the votes are widely considered to be false, but he is the person that became the president of Venezuela. It is, again, and has been Trump's campaign to win the Nobel Peace Prize. He said outwardly and publicly that if he did not win, it would be disrespectful to the United States of America and its people. I love the comment from the chief of the Nobel Peace. I don't know exactly his title, but he says, "We sit in a room filled with both courage and integrity." Donald Trump does not measure up to either of those measures. So, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, what more is this boy going to do? Is he going to throw a fit and just let the world crumble? Or does this motivate him to really put the screws to Putin to shut down the Ukraine? You never know, dog. You never know. Because one of his comments was, Rodney gave me this look like, one of his comments was, well, this was for 2024 and I didn't get reelected and start serving as president in 2025. So he may be on a mission, Doc, in order to get as much done in 2025 as possible. And that would be the next logical step, in my personal opinion. That would be the next logical step. Now, whether Putin goes for it or not, doubt it, but that does not mean that he doesn't push for it. As you know, we have troops in Europe and we've had other troops deployed to Europe for, how do we like to say it, Rodney? Training purposes. So with that troop buildup in Europe for training purposes, you never know. He may flex a little muscle, dog. He wants to be better than, or at least on the same level as Barack Obama.
So you're saying that the current POTUS is going to flex muscle against his handler?
I'm saying I don't know. This may motivate him too because he is hell-bent on getting the Nobel Peace Prize. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You never know. You never know with this guy. You never know with this guy. He may roll up tomorrow, have his McRib sandwich and not a Whopper. That's so disrespectful because a Whopper is damn sure uh uh Burger King. He may have a quarter pounder, a double quarter pounder with cheese, you know what I'm saying? And be like, you know what? I think I might want to put some pressure on this boy. I'm trying to get this medal around my chest. Again, he wants to be on the same level, if not above Barack Obama. Let's be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? This is his retaliation tour. This is why we have to discuss Tisha James. This is why we have to discuss Comey. This is why we have to discuss everybody. The boy got what was his national security advisor? He trying to put
Bolton.
charges on him, huh?
Bolton.
Yeah, he trying to put charges on Bolton. He off the charts right now, dog. He's totally unstable.
Every time he said something negative about Russia, he's taken it back. And Russia has come out. Matter of fact, when I believe it's hard to keep track, but I believe the last time he came out against Russia, Putin came out and says, well, we may have information on the Epstein files. And he quickly did 180. So him coming out, Putin is his handler. Putin has been his handler for decades. And I don't think he does anything without Putin's approval. And him going up against Putin, he may say some things occasionally for his basis purposes that Putin allows him to do. But to actually come out against Putin, that I'm not. I mean, like you said, anything is possible, but I'm not seeing that as being probable.
Again, a large fry, Diet Coke, extra large Diet Coke, and a double quarter pounder with cheese. You never know what this guy's going to do.
With a smattering of Xanax.
You never know what this guy's going to do. Yeah, but again, I'm happy he did not win the Nobel Peace Prize because I don't know what the hell he did to cause peace. All I see is
that's what all that was, going over to Russia, going over to trying to get the Middle East right. It was his peace tour.
It was a show.
And he did it for at least 4 different nations, and he said 4 together equals the peace prize. What are you talking about? That's how other people did it.
What do you mean? You said he treated like a Cracker Jack box?
He united the gems of Thanos's Infinity Gauntlet, and so and now it is his turn to rule the throne. So anyway, brothers, I have good news and bad news. Unfortunately, I am back on grandmother duty, and I just want to say that this has been one of the most stimulating conversations I've heard in a while. Unfortunately, I have to go out and handle some grandmother duties. And I just want to let you know that I sure appreciate this show. And everybody listening, just understand, these are not everybody over here know what they're talking about. Everybody you listening to on here, including me, I don't say much, including me, I know I didn't just pull it out of the sweet crevice. It literally was on somewhere trusted, like Al Jazeera or MSNBC, or some kind of trusted news source that we all should be trying to get with. C-SPAN is boring, but it is a reliable source to whether or not we can get some information that is actionable. All right, so I'm on my way to the.
Can I say something to you real quick before you go?
Yes, sir.
So, it's been 14 years since we've been doing this thing on Saturday mornings. This is not the original crew, but we have been connected in some form or fashion for the vast majority of those 14 years. Rodney found Thomas. I found Rodney. I found Rashi, and here we are all together. Yeah, it has been some remarkable Saturdays that we've been on this mode, man. We've had some good times. We were just clowning and just laughing and joking. But we've had a lot of times when we were, as you said, Rashi, pushing forward some actionable information. We've had a lot more of those days than just the clowning and the joking and stuff like that. I wanted to express my sincere thank you to everybody for their part. Getting up early in the morning and or not having any sleep whatsoever, Rodney, is not easy at all to do. And as you said, Rashi, being on point with the information, even though some details might skip a little bit because it is early as hell in the morning, and it's a lot of information to digest throughout the week that we share amongst one another. But it's been a lovely ride, and I'm hopeful to
Well, I
many.
just want to finish by saying that Letitia James's job is one of 300,000. So if you know a black woman somewhere who don't have her job no more, just be kind to her and ask, tell her with the local feed her Thomas, feed her with Philandro's Pantry Thomas, feed her knowledge, brother Rodney, with the gathering, and Lee, just don't prey on her. Just don't prey on her, Lee. Just leave her alone, Lee. Leave her
Lord,
alone, Lee. Leave her alone. She's just trying to
whatever,
make it day to day. All right, brothers.
whatever.
Have a fantastic show.
Peace.
And all right.
I know. So yeah, the government shutdown. I said he's leaving in the midst of a governmental shutdown, and this is day 11 of that. Employees were given a 60-day notice that they may be laid off within the next 60 days on Friday. Nobody got a full paycheck, I don't think, this past Friday. Military pay may not happen on 15 October, and I'll tell you something. Don't be messing my paycheck now. Hey no, hey no. Don't be messing my paycheck now. But yeah, no, they have up to Wednesday to figure that part out. Thus far, the administration has kicked the can down the road with doing something separate just to get the military paid. We'll go into that in a half a second. Uh, you're looking at potentially 4,000 federal employees laid off. Of that, you're looking at 1,446 from Treasury. How does that make any damn sense? And then between 1,100 to 1,200 from HHS. Don't know how the hell that makes any sense either. It's the wintertime where more people tend to get sick more often. School just went back into session. These young kids are swapping germs all around every damn place. I don't know how that makes sense either, but that's what it is. Um, the president has said that there will be cuts to Democratic centric programs more so than anything. These are the programs that the Democrats tend to favor. So he's looking at cutting those first. Dude, elections have consequences, right? Uh, the White House says that using tariffs, the money from tariffs, they may try to swing that over to pay the troops. Um, if this does not happen, please understand that this government shutdown will be nuclear at that point. It will be nuclear at that point. There's no hiding it, there's no getting around it. There are many industries that will be greatly impacted by the military not getting its money. I can think of Wingstop. It's a lot of Honda payments ain't gonna be made. People gonna get their rims repossessed. It's gonna be hell out here. I swear for the Lord. Ronnie, you laughing, dog. When I driving in Oklahoma, I saw nothing but rim repossession places. You can rent a rim. There was all kinds of spots over that mud, man. Rim repos. Um, but no, seriously, y'all. This impacts the nation direly. Like, who doesn't pay their bills? And we understand that when you don't pay your bills, there's a penalty to pay. It's more expensive to skip paying the bill than it is just to pay the damn bill. So the catch up is going to be ugly whenever the government does get back on track to come online. But I'm really looking forward to Wednesday. And not looking forward to it like I'm pumped about. I'm talking about looking to see if things change between now and Wednesday because Wednesday is that cutoff day for the military to get paid. So I'm pretty sure somebody's negotiating something right now. Before we came on, I got a blurb that The Democrats were returning to DC. I don't know if the Republicans are as well, but I know the Democrats have been asked to come back to DC. So hopefully that's a good sign of things to come.
Why would it be a good sign?
Huh?
Why would it be a good sign?
Hopefully these fools can come to some type of resolution to fund the government. Now, I don't want the Democrats to cave, but we do need to move forward.
I think the Democrats are coming back as a symbol that they're there. The Republicans are not coming back, and that's the other side of this too. It's this dialogue like it's both and. It's not a both and situation. As Marjorie Taylor Greene said, you know, if they wanted to in the Senate, they could pass the nuclear option if they really wanted this bill to pass.
Yep.
But they don't want to, and we need to put the blame where it needs to go. Sort of like the Indiana-Illinois succession plan that you guys were talking about that was actually voted inside Indiana and not Illinois, and nobody on Illinois was on that. But you got to read the whole article to get the whole piece. And the reason why it was voted on in Indiana is the people in Gary are hoping, well, if you get those 33 countries, can we go over to Illinois? Those are the things. The truth is always in the details. So with that being said, you have to understand that it's not good. I hope the Democrats stand firm on this, because to me, the Republicans have, how many days have they been working in Congress this year alone? They've taken a lot of days off, and they are refusing to govern. And their refusal has given cover to a lot of these executive orders that Trump has put out that really the congressional body should be doing their work, and they're just not. And when you think about this piece about them coming back, I'm hoping they're not doing what they did in Texas. I hope what they did in Texas. You know, because in Texas, man, they pump faked hard. They was like, no, we're gonna be out, we're gonna be in New York, we're gonna be in Illinois, and we're gonna stay. And then the sister stuck around, came back, got stuck in the chamber. She wanted the boo-hoo, and I'm like, no, you should have just stayed in Illinois. I don't feel bad for you. You should have stuck with the guns. You gotta, if you're gonna fight. Don't be J. Cole. Don't do the diss track and apologize. If you're gonna diss somebody, do the diss track. If the Democrats are gonna fight, stand on it. Look into the camera, tell the American people flat out, they are taking your health care. They are shutting down the government. They are refusing to pay military. It is not us. They have the House, they have the Senate, they have the White House, and they have the Supreme Court. Whatever is being done to you is being done to you by them. If you chose them, you chose this to be done to you.
Yep.
And that's just the conversation. Don't let them switch it to all of these other things. I saw Abby Phillips last night, and I just wanted to be like, sister, I want to like you. I just want to like you. But you keep doing this both and. It's clear the Republicans are driving the bus. And if they're driving it off a cliff, I don't see no reason why the Democrats at least should come back and get in the way of their karma. Don't get in the way of their karma. And listen, if you in the military, you're gonna miss a couple paychecks. It's gonna be a problem. But I will tell you once again, the Democrats ain't doing that to you. The Republicans are. Speaker Mike Johnson told his people to go home. That's what he told them. He told them to go.
Because he want to swear that girl in. Because he want to break the timeline there, Brother Barry.
Well, you know, it's that, and then it's the other side of it too. I don't think that they want people to just keep holding these hearings, questioning them over and over again, because what you're going to find out that many people inside of the Republican Party may not see eye to eye with those cuts. According to Marjorie Taylor Greene, correct me if I'm wrong, you're inside of Georgia. She said that she wasn't aware that the cuts were going to be that substantial. That's not what they were told.
She wasn't. She was
So
willfully ignorant. She was willfully ignorant.
So how many other Republicans were willfully ignorant, having to hear from their base And I need to keep you away because if your base might be changing your mind, I don't need you to come get on the cameras and say something that Speaker Johnson or President Trump is going to regret. Oh, and can we talk about one more thing before we go today? The Republicans in the Senate and this theatric that they pulled this week, exact kabuki theater, the idea that they were being surveillanced by Jack Smith and the White House, knowing damn well they were aware of what was happening. It goes back to January 6th and Donald Trump calling people around, trying to get them to hold up the election results when he lost. They knew that they had the information. It was in the subpoena. It was not secret. That whole thing that they did with Pam Bondi was in the Senate hearings was just a bunch of BS, y'all. Nobody was tapping their phones. What they did was they were looking at the records to verify who Trump was calling to try to deny the election. And I think that's very important for people to know, because what happens online is somebody will take it at face value and they'll say, oh, the Democrats were bugging their phones too. That did not happen.
Let's not let that be the end of the story or what we talked about today, because we didn't talk about Comey yet, nor we talked about Chief James. So
yeah,
Wednesday, Comey entered a not guilty plea. Remember, he was hit with 2 counts from the grand jury of lying to Congress. His attorney said that they plan to file 2 batches of motions. One is to say that the prosecutor was unlawfully appointed. The other one are accusations of vindictive or selective persecution, which both are illegal. Well, either are illegal. I'm sorry.
Did it say persecution or prosecution?
Prosecution. My apologies. Prosecution. My apologies. If I said persecution, I meant
prosecution or prostitution.
Prosecution. My apologies. Now, this campaign, we've talked about it before, of him going against his political opponents, it's just sick. Dude, you won. What the problem is, Adashi?
Because you cheated. Because he's a cheater. A cheater never wins, brother. When you cheat to win, it ain't enough. He don't feel good because he know he didn't run fast enough to get across that finish line. He didn't know what he needed to do. And here's the cold piece about it. And this is what I've been waiting on, y'all. Now, this is me. I'm looking at Comey's daughter, and I'm like, oh, you was part of the Justice Department too, huh? Yeah. And then I'm looking at his son-in-law, and I'm like, oh, you were part of the Justice Department too. Yeah. Man, the secrets that some people might have, the things that go bump in the middle of the night, to me, and I'm going to say this, America's whole entire issue is that there's people who know better, who can prove what this president has been up to the entire time, and they're refusing to say it. I'm hoping with this Comey situation that they decide to take the gloves off and publicly dismantle this president. Because to me, they know where the bodies are buried. They know where the bones. And let me give you guys a good example. Comey's being prosecuted. Meanwhile, this bum who took the $50,000 in the paper bag like he was in some old mafioso movie, Holman. Nobody knows what happened to the $50,000. Nobody wants to say what happened. But you know who probably know? Comey's daughter, his son-in-law. They probably know. These people got clearance. It's not like folks don't have access to information or did not have information. I'm just telling y'all. I'm watching how this progress. I think the judge will throw it out. I think it may not never get to a trial, but I will plead to the Comey family. You guys may have all of the silver bullets that may save America. Figure out a way to get them off. Because sitting back, not saying anything, has been Trump's bluest kryptonite. People who know what's going on and don't say anything. That's the only way this stuff works. You can be a scoundrel in president as long as the people who know don't say anything. And I get it. People are talking about federal clearance and people worried about being persecuted. But man, you being persecuted anyway. They're snatching your clearance away anyway. So it does not matter. If you swore on that Bible, Quran, or Torah to uphold the Constitution against any enemy, foreign or domestic, this is the time to speak up. And I feel like that the Comey family, when I saw that Rodney and they showed his daughter and then they showed his son-in-law, I said, oh, these are people that know.
I have this is a time in which, to your point, Thomas, going to regular you, Rodney, that blurb is even more powerful right now. Protect the Constitution against enemies both foreign and domestic. I think about that more and more and more now because of the time in which we're in. I never saw, that's not true. I heard about it, but I hadn't seen a Trump Pence, it's not Pence, goddamn, I'm all messed up. Vance, 2028 hat, flag, nothing. Saw it a couple weeks ago. And when I saw it, I thought to myself, if this is the case, if for whatever reason this court declares that is okay to do, are the Democrats prepared to nominate Barack Obama again?
No, because they passed it and they're saying under certain circumstances, and they're trying to paint the picture that Trump was somehow cheated and he didn't have consecutive terms. This is what they're trying to pass.
But that's not what the Constitution says. The Constitution does not say the terms have to be consecutive.
No, what I'm saying is they're trying to rewire the Constitution, reword it to make Trump eligible, but Barack Obama ineligible. The only other person that would be eligible would be George H.W. Bush, but he's dead. But if Comey, and let me, when I say what Comey's daughter knows, Comey's daughter was the one who prosecuted Epstein the first time. You get where I'm going with this, y'all? She knows where the bodies are buried. And that's the question. Once again, Rodney, I'm asking about media. How come she ain't been asked to be on TV? How come nobody has called her to do a long 16-page expose about Epstein and what the hell she know?
But have they not called, or has she not? People can call, but they can still say no.
And listen, and that's good if she says no, because then people should be able to put on the record that we did reach out and she said no. Because I feel like, again, similar to the COVID situation when they were saying that the administration was giving out false information about it not being airborne and things of that nature, CNN had that news for 90 days. And they said nothing about it, even though they were aware of it. It's as a point of Americans, you can't hold everything for your expose, for your memoir, or for your podcast, contract deal, or whatever the case may be. Americans, if we're going to save the union, people are going to have to start speaking up. And yep, you know what? You may risk not being able to be hired again by the federal government. But if you save the union, it may be better than getting that job back anyway.
True that. All right, how about let's talk about Tish James, whom, by the way, is shorter than I thought she was.
Oh, you thought she was?
Yeah, I thought she was tall.
Well, you trying to use ironically?
No.
Yeah.
Rodney, you stop it. You stop. I was not. When she walked in, I was like, damn, she's shorter than I thought she was.
Yeah.
But anyhow, she was indicted Thursday 2 counts again, bank fraud and making false statements to a financial institution are the charges that she was hit over the head with. Now, allegedly, she bought a house in Norfolk, Virginia. She said that she was going to use that as her primary residence. Then, a couple of years later, she bought a house in Richmond, Virginia. And they're trying to say that because of the other home, she was afforded a cheaper rate than she would have gotten if not. She didn't have it. So we'll see where that goes.
No place.
No place. I agree. I agree. But look,
Well, Bondi was shocked by the idea that
yes.
so that tells me that there's some movement going on where once again I think that they're fragmented more than what is being let on. Once again, because we have a bad media space.
But I think people are thinking about their reputations. So she didn't want to go forward with either of these because she knew they were non-starters. They're no winners. They're dead no one. They're DOA, to be honest with you.
Well,
So
you may not want to go through it, but if you are in charge of the Department of Justice, for you to be caught off guard, but remember the message on his social media page was directed directly to Pam Bondi, right?
to her, correct.
And so the woman who is leading the charge is also the woman that he threatened Bondi with in that post, correct?
Correct.
And she works under Pam Bondi, correct?
Correct.
With no experience in this
Absolutely
position.
not.
So how are you able to pull this off without the leader of the DOJ knowing? And that to me shows that the alignment is off. And if the alignment is off, why is the alignment off? Well, one, it shows that she reports directly to Trump and she can care less of what Bondi says, which is illegal, by the way. Everything has a so that's what I'm looking at, y'all. I'm looking at this fever pitch, and you say, well, why is he in such a rush? Why is he such in a rush, y'all? And that's what I keep.
Because of October 31st.
Well, I think, well, I'm saying October 31st, which I believe, but I believe that he knows that the writing is on the wall. And I do believe that there's enough people behind the scenes who are questioning. I do believe that they are losing the support. And I think if you get the right mix in, I think that they're in trouble. Now, we'll see how they weather the storm, but it's also about the American media too. Because if the media does not play their role, which they have not been doing this entire time, then he might have some staying power. But for right now, I'm taking the over under October 31st, and I got a $25 wager for anybody who wants to take me up on it. All right, October 31st.
We do not condone gambling on this show, there, sir. Just so you know. It's
October
not like we're in Vegas. Oh, sorry, Rodney, we are. So I guess we can. It's legal.
Hey,
Let's go.
they got online betting now, so you can bet it from anywhere.
Bro, speaking of, how is Vegas doing right now? I mean, I know the housing market is cooling off, tourism is cooled off. What's going on?
We are losing students in our school district. We are below 300,000. Vegas is hurting. We're gonna see more of the hurt in what is it, the next when the fourth quarter report comes out. But Vegas is hurting. When I fly up to visit Brother Barry, the airports is like ghosts. I just breeze through TSA. I don't even have to do the clear or the special. I don't even have to pre-check. I can just breeze through TSA almost like I'm just walking through. So,
Yeah.
and I've done 2 different airlines now in 2 different terminals. I mean, of course, that's anecdotal, but our visiting numbers are down quite a bit where they had been going up. We have a major housing issue, but it's not just here, but it is here. So Vegas is not doing well. And as the tariffs, Vegas doesn't produce anything except a bunch of losers at the tables. So
Yeah.
we have to import everything. So the tariffs are, pretty tough for us. And then when you look at the gaming The people coming in, tourism is down. International tourism is big for Vegas, but international tourism is down. Canadian visitors to Vegas is down. People from Mexico, they know that Vegas is on the hit list for the Gestapo. So finding workers for service jobs, drivers. Um, now they're going after truck drivers who might be undocumented. So all
Yeah.
of these things is just
The
snowballing
non-domiciled
here.
truck drivers. Yep.
So we may be one of the first major city casualties from the terrors and the crackdowns.
which is crazy. I mean,
So you don't produce losers all the time. Congratulations to the Las Vegas Aces as they won yet another WNBA championship last night. They capped it off by beating the Phoenix Mercury. Congratulations to them. I definitely wanted to slide in and shout out to everybody out there in Vegas. Sister Asia Wilson doing her thing as normal and powering
History
them through.
maker. She did something no basketball player has done in history. I posted it on the page this morning. I actually didn't know she had done that. I thought she had tied Bill Russell with the MVPs, but then when you looked at her overall stats, she has surpassed uh, regular NBA players in her accomplishments. So yeah,
Not regular male NBA players, because they're all NBA players, sir. Let's give the ladies some love.
well, a player in the WNBA has surpassed all the players in the NBA men's
Period.
division.
There you go. There you go. Brother Barry, you got anything to end with? We got 5 minutes left.
no, I just wanted to chime in on the Vegas piece because that was one of the things we were looking at getting the drivers out there, and they were saying that it was tough, like for truck drivers, to get a shipment out to Vegas because they say everything is dead. So it's something to look forward to, look to, and if Vegas is being hit that way, so is Orlando, and so is a lot of these other tourist places. So that is the cost of Trump. And I'll say that again. If we had a strong media doing everything they're supposed to do, we can go a calendar year from today on back and we can track how things were doing pre-Trump. And it should be showed because the tariffs, his policy with ICE, all of these things are impacting America. They're all impacting America. And I think it's something to really take a look at.
Gotcha. Brother, Rodney, you got anything to end on?
Everybody, tomorrow's not promised. I know you want to believe that your vote in the next election will change things. And assuming that there is another election that is free and clear, it can. But we need to live our lives today. Please find somebody to love on because tomorrow is not promised. They're in Chicago. We know that Las Vegas is on the hit list. Who knows where else? And remember that what's going on in Chicago, they're looking at sending them to more states. And who's going to blink? Because it is a game of chicken that could be the difference between a civil war and not a civil war.
Just a shouting war, right? Look, y'all, again, thank you. 14 years and many more to come. God willing, the creek don't rise. It is an honor and a pleasure to talk to you all week in and week out, not only here, but throughout the week as we tend to do to keep up with one another.
Hey, Lee, real quick.
Yes, sir.
And I will be back on at 3 from 3 to 8, 5 hours in a row, watching the game, talking about the platform, the whole nine, trying to get people to win this date with Sister Kim. So I'm going to do 5-hour streaming. I'll talk politics. I'll talk everything throughout this process. So if you guys are free, you're doing nothing, man, feel free. I'll be on. I'm going to do StreamYard, and I'm going to go StreamYard to Facebook to TikTok.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, look, as we always say about this time, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, because that's what we do. If ain't nobody told you, we love you, and the damn thing you can do about it. Until next week, family.
can't wait for this Notre Dame game.